Harry's text to Charles, "Dad needs to apologize to us publicly," caused Charles' blood pressure to skyrocket. Hello, pals. Hello. And thank you for tuning in to Royal Family News Update, where we will be bringing you all the latest updates on the hypocritical royal couple, Harry and Meghan Markle. In their most recent demand, they have threatened to boycott the coronation unless they receive an apology from the royal family. What do you need an apology for? And they want it to take place during a formal meeting with Charles. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Don't worry about typical teenage problems like jealousy and tantrums. Instead, focus on the positives. Harry's mind is still that of a young child, and he hasn't gotten over the slights he suffered as a teenager. He has made a career out of exploiting Diana's death, and at this point the record is permanently stuck in one groove. Boring. He thinks his wife is just like Diana. He's in for a big surprise someday. But that's in the future, and TW continues to stoke Harry's paranoia and resentment of his relatives. They are completely convinced that their trip to Australia was a huge success and that they were adored even more than William and Catherine and even the Queen. Given the universal adulation they received, the couple insisted on getting the best possible performances and thought they deserved nothing less. What they didn't take into account was that their success was only due to their novelty value, and that once the wedding was over, reality would set in. They might have kept their popularity for a little longer if they had been wonderful, warm, charming visitors to Fiji, Tonga, New Zealand, and Australia. But stories began to spread, and their star began to fade. The list goes on. Demanding the entirety of Admiralty House and becoming enraged when she wasn't given it. Throwing tea at an aide. Keeping kitchen staff up late making banana bread to her liking. Saying "Don't you know who I am?" Leaving a market in Fiji and upsetting her female protection officer. Not to mention the fact that she brought along Jessica Mulroney and planned to do her own thing while Harry worked. That's quite a victory. They keep on bleeding and now demand an apology because the RF didn't give in to their every whim and demand when they went to the Queen to suggest they should be at the top of the bill. The nobles in the court just laughed at them and said, "That's not how it works." But now they demand an explanation. The royal family, it seems, has decided to grey rock, i.e., do nothing in response to the Sussexes' marriage. This seems to be an excellent strategy for enraging a narcissist, who gets off on a sense of superiority over others and needs an adversary to fight, as the royal family's inaction leaves Meg with no plausible defense. So, if they insist on a formal apology before they'll accept an invitation to the coronation, then I'd say they might as well have never been invited. After all, what could possibly be wrong with a member of the royal family? They're even more of a moron than I thought they already were. She's just making excuses for why they might not appear. In all honesty, the Jubilee greeting was more of a hug in comparison to what they can expect now. On top of that, you should not associate with racists. Though her ID card and appearance both indicate that she is white, she is not. The public doesn't react negatively to a white actor or actress because of their race. Pretender and liar. Although I highly doubt they will receive an official apology, I am curious if the establishment will make any attempt to make amends. I can't even begin to describe the depths of my sadness at the thought of reconnecting with a family member we haven't seen in a few years. Please know that my heart goes out to King Charles and Prince William as they deal with this difficult situation. Whatever they do in public will be criticized by the rest of the world. There were alternative approaches Meghan and Harry could have taken. As I see it, they have entered into a power struggle that they cannot possibly win. There is no way for them to exert influence. I realize the longer issues fester, the more challenging they will become. Mad after how they have treated their respective families, Meghan and Harry should stay far away. Narcissists have no capacity for empathy, so they have reached the lowest point to which they are capable. They're both bad guys dressed up in nice clothes. Also, the slapper on that yacht has the nerve to call herself a humanitarian. Although she has a plastic face and uses shoved-on makeup, she is able to ignore her sick father and family because of Harry. Furthermore, a brand new set of equine chompers and a nose so small it can be removed while skiing. As for her discussing racism, that meeting with well-observed Ginger was gloomy. They don't know that her mother is actually black because she pretends to be Caucasian. That racist scumbag. That she comes from a black background should make you feel ashamed. Multiple famous people have claimed she uses medication to artificially lighten her skin. At long last, the world will get to see what Harry married thanks to the publication of her nude and semi-nude photos. Check to see if she can fib her way out of that. She acts as a surrogate mother to Harry and can't believe her good fortune that he fell for her con. Before they tied the knot, they were barely acquaintances at best. Her treachery had them plotting their escape from the royal family in advance. Even if it means letting her have her way, Harry is spineless. And both have been traitors and chronic liars to their own families, and we all know what happens to traitors. I don't think the Sussexes should be invited to the coronation after all the slander they've hurled at their own families. I hope Harry's book ends soon so we can all escape their petty tyrannical antics. Netflix deserves criticism for continuing to rely on Mr. Boosie's report, which was debunked as completely false and inaccurate months ago. Everything in the series was just a rinse and repeat of the Oprah rant with added ludicrousness. The claims made throughout the series were not supported by any evidence. There seems to be no way to avoid being labeled a racist in today's world, where even a seemingly innocuous inquiry, such as "Where are you from?" can be misconstrued as racial innuendo. I, along with millions of other Europeans, am sick to death of the Harkles' constant nonsense. I predict that if the Sussexes show up to the coronation, they will be booed and possibly showered with rotten tomatoes and eggs. 90% of people over the age of 25 strongly disapprove of them. They will undoubtedly do whatever it takes to put the spotlight squarely on themselves. Instead of taking their kids to see their relatives, they should just stay at home in their Montecito mansion. Why would the royal family ever put their faith back in that duo? If you think Meghan will stop harping, think again. She will probably direct and star in her own next film, with the hopeless goal of winning an Academy Award. How do you feel about Harry, Meghan, and Charles's vile request? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. With any luck, this video was instructive for you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this newsletter and hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.